I feel very out of place right now. I think that part of it is because this is not my regular setup, and I think that part of it is because I feel like I'm zoomed out way too far, but we're gonna roll with it. Hi, welcome back. Today is gonna be a little bit of a mashup of different things. It's kind of beauty show and tell. I'm going to show you some of the things that I've bought while I've been here in the US, some things that I've gotten since I came back to the US about a month ago, and just all of the other things that I ordered through the year that I had delivered to my US address and I'm only picking up now, and of course I'll be taking back when I return to the Middle East in a couple of weeks. So we're just gonna get ready together, and I'll show you some of these items that, you know, I've been kind of pacing through the year, and some of them I've just gotten delivered here for convenience sake or because they have to be delivered ground. Whole bunch of other reasons. I'm also going to show you what I got myself for my birthday with my yearly Sephora gift card from my father-in-law, just for funsies. And at the end of the video, we're going to have a little celebratory item. So if you want to find out what that is, stay tuned until the end of the video, because I am celebrating passing 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm very, very grateful for your time and your views and your likes and your comments. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'm having still a lot of fun doing this. So to celebrate that, there will be a giveaway at the end of this video. So if you want to enter and find out the guidelines, stay tuned until then. When we have the completed look, then I'll tell you how to enter the giveaway, and good luck. So let's just get into kind of the show and tell a little bit. So I got to the US like the third week of June or something like that. Date of recording is, what day is today? Oh my God. It's Monday, June 22nd. Okay. So I've been in the US for roughly a month, and in that time I've had to do a couple of things. Like I've run out of skincare samples and that kind of thing. So I bought a couple of skincare items. First and foremost, I replenished my Pharmacy Green Clean. Okay. If you were worried about me after my empties video, I have Green Clean again. Everything is fine. Yay. I have Green Clean again. Everything is okay. So yeah, I just had to make sure that I took care of that when I arrived to the US. I'm like, okay, I cannot. I need cleansing balm, because the funny thing is that I ran out of cleansing balm and I was not doing double cleansing for several weeks, and my skin was going through it. Like it was getting seriously clogged. I think it's because maybe I wasn't removing like all of my sunscreen or something like that. So as soon as I brought my cleansing balm in and I started double cleansing again, my skin calmed down significantly. But it's just nice to do, because I definitely see a difference in terms of like how much or how little my clogs pour. My pores clog or don't clog if I'm doing double cleansing. So I'm very happy to have Pharmacy back. Then I am also trying this Thursday Beauty Brighten and Glow Moisturizer with vitamin C for my daytime moisturizer. I just had a bunch of like samples from the Ultra Facial Cream from Kiehl's, and I ran out of all of those. So I had to buy something. I picked this up at Sephora when I was in Texas. I hadn't tried actual face products from Thursday Beauty. I've only tried body care before. So this is like my first foray into skincare. I think this is a good delivery system for vitamin C. I would say, just so you know, sometimes I do feel a little bit of a burning sensation on my upper lip, but that might be because that area of my skin is extra sensitive. I do have hyperpigmentation there. So I don't know if that's the culprit. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So if you have sensitive skin, it does say safe for sensitive skin, but if you have sensitive skin, it might be something to take into consideration if this is what you're going for. I do have my skincare on already, and of course I'm using this. But I also wanted to show you what I got for my nighttime moisturizer. I did it. Full size of the Kiehl's Super Multi-Corrective Cream. I love this thing. It's so good. Just that thick layer of moisture that is really, really, really enriching. I mean, you've been hearing me rave about the samples that I've had. I just had to pick the full size so that I can use it for a longer period of time. So far, so good. Just like I thought with the samples, it is great. My skin is returning to like a place of like being really comfortable and feeling really hydrated and really balanced. I'm pairing this also with which I left in my bathroom, but it's also a product that I got while I've been here. It's the Kiehl's 10% niacinamide serum, the one that comes in like the clear bottle, and it's completely clear and it has like a little green on the label. That one's also great, and it was something that I got here. I just left it in the bathroom and I'm not gonna get up to get it. So niacinamide and I get along really well. If you are new to it, it's also an ingredient that it's an active that you can use easily with other things. So like combining niacinamide with things like retinol or an acid or stuff like that usually is fine, because niacinamide is a really noble ingredient. Like usual, remember, I'm not a dermatologist. So my best advice is to, whenever you're thinking about introducing a new active to your skin, check with your dermatologist first. People on YouTube are not dermatologists unless they actually have like board certifications, but even then, they're not your dermatologist. So check with yours. Let's be responsible with our skin, okay? I have a new SPF that I'm trying for my face. I got it a while ago, but I can't find it at the moment. Last but not least, when it comes to skincare, I've been trying a new sunscreen for my face, which is the Glossier Invisible Shield SPF 50. Is that what it's called? Yes, Invisible Shield Daily Sunscreen. So in the past, I've tried the one with the small white bottle with the yellow cap, the Invisible Shield, which is SPF 35. And I think that one's mineral. I'm not sure. I tried that a couple years ago. I really liked it. It was more of like a white cream texture, but it leaves zero cast whatsoever. My husband also liked it a lot. So when I saw that Glossier was releasing a sunscreen with a higher sun protection, I was like, okay, good. Let's try that. So here it is. I ordered this, I think, in the spring savings event. It has 1.7 fluid ounces. So the texture is pretty much the same as the invisible sunscreen, unseen sunscreen from Supergoop. See? It's like that clear gel. I think that e.l.f. has that same like invisible texture on their Sun Touchable product line, which I've also tried. I've tried both, like the tinted one and the invisible one, but this is Glossier's offer on this. And I mean, I've tried both the Supergoop, both the e.l.f. And I mean, I think this operates pretty much the same as the invisible, the unseen sunscreen from Supergoop, pretty much the same as the e.l.f. Sun Touchable that has this texture, plays very well with products, dries really fast. It leaves you kind of like that dry touch texture after a little while on your skin. So definitely not a concern in terms of how it works with other makeup products. I've gone really well with this. I've used it with tinted moisturizers, with pretty much every primer I own, with foundations of like higher coverage level, and it's worked really well. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm happy that Glossier is offering a lightweight sunscreen that has higher sun protection than what they had before. The other sunscreen that I've been trying this summer is the new offering from Bath & Body Works. Oh, glare doesn't help me here. So this is the At the Beach sunscreen lotion from Bath & Body Works. I know they have, this is like the original scent, I'm gonna call it that, but they also have two others that I think one is pineapple and one is coconut, something like that. My husband bought the bigger sprays. I got this via influencer to try. So I got like this small lotion version, I got the small spray version, and I got the lip balm. The lip balm is SPF 35, and then the sunscreens are SPF 50. This works really well, I would say. My husband did point out that maybe when you're going hiking and there are going to be bugs, maybe not this one, because it does have a scent and it might attract, like, you know, things to come to you because they're smelling you. But texture wise, it works really well. Sun protection wise, it works really well. So it's been interesting to see Bath & Body Works get into this particular branch of skincare. Price wise, I think it's a pretty accessible price point. So worth checking out, especially if you want something with a really yummy, like vacation fragrance to use at other times of the year when, you know, things are not as vacationy and summery. But yeah, this has been great. So again, this one was gifted by influencer, but we've also bought our own like larger spray bottles because my husband really likes the spray texture. Is that it for skincare? Yes. Oh, well, I did also get this as a gift. It's the Beauty Bee Beeswax Body Butter. If I can find a link to this, I will, because it is a really thick body butter. I have this size, and then I also got a bigger size for my mother-in-law. She likes to find me fun skincare from time to time. So that's the texture. It is really thick, so you need very little, but it means that it can be a really effective hand cream, which is how I've been using this one. I've been using it as a hand cream before I go to bed. And then, of course, in the winter, when everything is super dry and cold and my skin is going through it, I'll be using the other size. But yeah, this is really interesting. If you need something without fragrance, this could be a good option. Oh, Beauty and the Bee is what it's called. And then this is just their beeswax body butter. So that's where we're at. One more body care item. This was on sale on Prime Day, so I decided to get it and try it out. It's the Dove body scrub in crushed macadamia and rice milk. I think this is more like the kind of texture that I'm used to for body scrubs. I paid like $4 for this. So I'm gonna try it out because the other body scrub that I have open at the moment back in the Middle East is a salt-based one. And it's great. It leaves a really nice layer of oil behind for hydration. But sometimes you want something a little less abrasive than a salt-based scrub. So I think this one's going to be good. I've used Dove body scrubs before and so far so good. So yeah, I was happy to pick this up on sale, and I'll be trying it out in the near future. Okay, now we're done with skincare. Before we move on to other items and start getting ready, let me just show you two non-makeup, non-beauty items that I am taking back with me. One is my academic planner for next year. This is from Papier. Look at that cover. I really like that print. You can get them personalized, so this has my name on it. And of course they have, monthly overviews and the month ahead to-do list, a corner for gratitude, dates to remember, deadlines, all of that kind of stuff. This is my first time getting a Papier planner. I saw them recommended on like a list of best planners from the New York Times, so I decided to switch things up. I had been using the Simplified Planner by Emily Lay for 7 years or something like that, and I love Emily's planners. This year I didn't really love the covers, so I decided to switch things up a little bit. I'll have this linked in the description box, along with anything else that I'm showing here that is available. Just remember that some of the links that I include in the description box are affiliate links, so if you make purchases through them, I may earn a small commission. And then the other non-makeup item that I'm taking is this book called Healthy Made Simple by Ella Mills, who is the founder of Deliciously Ella, which is a plant-based food company in the UK. I've been following Ella for a very, very long time at this point, since she started pretty much in 2013. And I really appreciate how she and her company are trying to make eating loads of plant-based foods accessible for people, and how to try to give some creative ideas for making, plant-based recipes at home. I also appreciate the fact that even though she is vegan, I feel like over the years, she's kind of moved away from like trying to convert people to veganism and just being like more like, okay, no. As many plants as you can, as many plant-based foods as you can for your own health, for the planet's health, etc. But I got this book because it has a lot of simple recipes that are like, ready in 30 minutes or less, have very few ingredients, and can be made in busy weekdays and stuff like that. So I appreciate that. I have one more of her books. I have Quick and Easy, which is fantastic, and I highly, highly recommend it. But she has others. She has other books. I also have an app membership. I use her app very frequently. But even though I'm not vegetarian, I'm not vegan, I do feel at my best when I eat a lot of plants. And usually her recipes are either a really good place for inspiration or, just really yummy food as it is. So I'm taking that cookbook back with me. If you are ever curious about like what cookbooks I recommend, and you would like to see maybe like a little rundown of some of my favorite cookbooks, I'd be happy to make that video. It's very outside of makeup, but I'm happy to, share some of the books and authors and cooks that share their recipes that I like the most. So if you would like to see that, let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get started, because I've been here for like almost 16 minutes and we're not even started with like the getting ready part of things. So let's just start. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you some of the items that I've purchased throughout the last year or so, and I'm going to apply some of them because in some cases I have more than one and I can't apply both at the same time because they might do different things and that sort of thing. And I'm just going to show you in the order of which I would, apply makeup, right? So let's start with primers. We have 2. Unfortunately, my prediction of finishing one or both of my mini Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filters over the summer is a bust. I will not finish them, so it's not like I'm replacing them, but I did finish my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. So I don't feel too bad about adding these primers, especially because one, it's a matter of I don't have a primer like this either. Well, one of them is replacing a primer that I finished a couple months ago, which would be the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So to replace that, I decided to go with the One Size Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer, which has these very fun boba bubbles. I don't really know. I really like how it looks, but I haven't tried the primer itself, and I'm actually not going to try it today because I want to show you another one. But I'm hoping that this is also, similar to the Power Grip Primer and, provides a more hydrating base, especially because some of the other primers that I have are not exactly hydrating. So I'm excited to try this. Expect me to show you performance on this and some reviews in the next few months, probably. I don't actually know when I'll start using it. Probably when I return to the Middle East and it's 1,000,000 degrees. The other primer that I decided to pick up was the Rituel de Fille Creature of Light Full Face Serum Illuminator. Originally, for an illuminating primer to replace my e.l.f., I was going to get the Natasha Denona. That was my original intention, but I had a $25 reward on Rituel de Fille, so I was like, okay, they have a new illuminating primer. I've been meaning to get a full size of the Thorn Oil for a while. We'll talk about the Thorn Oil in a minute. So you know what? I might as well get Creature of Light instead. This is the shade that I went with, which is the shade Glowing Creature. So that's what we're gonna apply in the face today. Oh boy, I took out a lot. This is probably a really large pump. Oh brother. So yeah, that's probably a really large pump. I'm gonna use my Sigma F47 to put it on. Oh, I just have kind of a bit on my fingers still. Oh my God, I'm afraid that I'm gonna look like Edward Cullen in that movie. No, I'm not. Okay. I had swatched it in my hand and I knew the kind of glow that I was gonna get. Oh, it feels really nice too. It has a smell of grapefruit. Is that what I'm getting? Oh. It has a fragrance of some sort, but it's not anything crazy. Yeah, it does have a fragrance, but it's not anything out of this world. I have my brows done already, but it's my same Benefit powder from always. So didn't think that it was necessary to do this on camera. Oh man. I do have a lot of primer left in my hand, so I'll just swatch it in my hand so that you can see what it looks like, hopefully. In the heaviest swatch you have ever seen, but I think that this can give you an idea of just how much glow you can get out of this product, which is great. And I mean, you can see it in my face. I'll do just a little bit more for the sake of, yeah, as soon as you put it on, you can see the glow getting there, which is lovely. I like this. I really like it. And I mean, this is a gigantic bottle in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I really like how it looks on the face. Again, I had swatched it in my hand, but I like how it looks on the face. So we are starting. Good place to start. Good place to start. That's a good thing. The glow is real. Okay. Nice job, Rituel de Fille. Nice job. I decided to go with that lighter shade because I feel like it's gonna be more flexible between summer and winter when my complexion shade kind of changes a little bit. I am detecting kind of a little bit of goldenness to it. So we'll see how that plays out with other products. I did pick up one complexion product, one foundation, because I think that this is kind of an in-between, a tinted moisturizer and a foundation based on coverage, but it's the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I am I picked up the shade 51 medium. I have used this already. I just put it in the box for the sake of like having access to the names. So I've used this a couple of times since I've been in the US. And I have found that there are a couple of things that I need to take into consideration. Number one, I can't use a lot of this because I feel like if I do, the coverage is way heavier than I prefer. I will need more. I'll apply it with my fingers for this, for the sake of showing you how it applies and how it interacts with another product when there's no brush. I do like the finish, but I do feel like there are moments when if I put on too much, it looks a little heavy. I don't think it's as hydrating as other tinted moisturizers that I've used before. I feel like in true Urban Decay fashion, it's maybe more of a natural matte finish, not so much a hydrating finish. But it doesn't feel uncomfortable on the skin. I don't recommend using it without a primer or without a really hydrated base, personally. Maybe someone that is like oily combo skin would fare better with it in terms of like using it without a primer or something like that. But personally, it's not my preference. I just prefer to apply it with a primer underneath. But, you know, for a tinted hydrator, for a tinted moisturizer, I do feel like it gives pretty good coverage. I wouldn't call this light coverage. They don't call it light coverage. They call it medium coverage. So it's an interesting one because I feel like it gives you a little bit more than a lot of other tinted moisturizers do in terms of coverage and evening things out. And I'm looking at myself right now and wondering if I should even try to put on concealer. Should we skip the concealer today? No, we're not gonna skip the concealer. We're gonna apply just a little tiny bit of my Overachiever Concealer by Huda Beauty, which is, I mean, it's much higher coverage than the rest of my face, but if I apply just a tiny bit, I should be fine. I also thought that I was going to finish this concealer by the end of the summer. I will not, because I use such a small amount that it's just not going to be possible for me to finish it before I go back to the Middle East, which is, it's okay. I haven't bought a new concealer in a while though. Last new concealer that came into my collection was the Ritual de Fille when I did the Lab Access thing. And that was in late winter, something like that. I will say, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job at actually exploring Ritual de Fille as a brand, which was one of my intentions for 2024. It was one of the brands that I wanted to try. So I feel like I'm doing pretty well with that because, again, I also got the Thorn Oil, which I had already tried, and I got some of the other products. Let me just show you real quick. So this is the Thorn Potions bundle from Ritual de Fille, and it has basically every Thorn product that they make. So it has the, let me just show you. So first off, you get the Thorn Bite Peptide Plum Creme Lip Oil. Texture-wise, this feels very similar to the Huda Beauty Silk Balm. I'm just going to put it on kind of as lip prep because this is completely clear. So it really does feel like a lip treatment. It's not a runny oil texture. It's kind of like this suspended gel, but it feels really nice on the skin. This one doesn't have that much of the like rosy scent that the other Thorn products have, which, you know, if you don't like rose scented things, maybe that's a positive for you. But here's the rest of the products on this potions bundle. The Thorn Oil, of course, which is a primer. So technically, I guess this is my third primer that I got to pick up here in the US. Then the Thorn Milk, which is a hydrating skin mist. I love how vampire-y it looks. I'm looking forward to using this in the very hot days that are coming up in the Middle East. Just kind of like to refresh my skin and make it feel plump after maybe a long day or maybe very hot weather conditions. And then the Thorn Pulp Crunch Jelly Oil Cleansing Balm. So when I finish my pharmacy green clean, then I'll be trying this. So this will be kind of on deck. I'm keeping everything in the box because I feel like it's gonna be easier for packing purposes. If you would like to see me attempt to pack all of these things in my luggage before I go back to the Middle East, let me know and I can try to film a packing video. There will be other packing videos in the future, of course, because, you know, I travel and at some point I'm gonna have to make sure that I can pack all my makeup when I leave the Middle East. So that'll be an interesting challenge. So, but those are like some of the items that I got from... So those are some of the items that I got from Wed Jul powder. Powder. All right. I usually lock in things with powder before I move on to all the other products. So sometimes I am laying creams and liquids on top of powder, but I do want to make sure that my complexion, you know, lasts as long as possible and doesn't like melt off my face. So we are going to try a new to me powder, which is the Kosas Cloud Set Bake Setting and Smoothing Powder. I picked up the shade Pillowy. I have used this already and you'll see. I also had an accident with it. I'm not really sure what happened because it was just in my drawer, but so this is what the mini looks like. I think you can see already what happened. The dome came off and broke, so I have to be very careful. Let me just show you right here. Yeah, so the dome kind of cracked off, so I have to be careful. Because this is a baked powder, I don't know that repressing it would be the best idea in the world. So I'm just gonna work around that broken dome and hope for the best. I apologize for my dirty brushes, but my face brushes, I don't have all of them with me, so they're due for a wash. Here's what I will say about this powder. So I think that for setting the face, it's great. I've tried it a couple times, I want to say maybe twice, in the under eyes, and I didn't love it. So face was a yes, under eyes was a no. I'm gonna try it again on the under eyes and see how it goes. But my initial impressions of it was that face was a yes and under eyes was a no. I have noticed, because I have the same issue with my Pat McGrath under eye powder, that for the under eyes, I just have to be careful and I have to use very little product so that it doesn't set into lines. So far, you know, it's a positive, especially for like an all over the face face powder. I know that Kosas has like a little bit of an iffy reputation when it comes to their products lasting or not lasting. This is the second time I buy a Kosas product. My first one, was a Revealer Concealer and got along with that really, really well. It's a great product. It didn't go bad on me or anything like that. So my personal experience with Kosas is still untarnished, let's put it that way. So I expect this powder to perform really well. And I mean, it's so small that I'm hoping that I can finish it up. I also got in my Sephora birthday order, just because we're talking about Kosas, this sampler of the Revealer Concealer. It's a product that I've tried already, but I will try maybe mixing some of the shades together just to see like what other shade, what else does the shade range offer. But it's a product that I'm already familiar with, or maybe I'll keep some of the concealers for travel purposes. I don't know. This is something that you can do on the Kosas website. You can order their products in sample cards, so that if you want to try different shades from a product line, you can do that. I really appreciate it when brands do that. I also have another sample card that is kind of like with the same purposes. I don't remember which order did I get this with, but it's a sample card of the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I would actually I want to use this on camera on a trying new makeup day. Well, it's not new makeup, but you know what I mean. Like trying different products. So I'll save this for later. Maybe I'll try it whenever I try the One Size primer, because this is supposed to be a matte finish foundation and that's not my favorite. So maybe a hydrating primer will give me a finish that is more my preference. Bronzer, it's nothing to see here really. So I'm just gonna apply my good old Charlotte Tilbury. I was hoping to hit pan on this over the summer, but I also don't think that that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen, but I mean, it is such a great product. I will get a little bit of a break when I go back to the Middle East because that's kind of how I go. I rotate through my makeup products. So this one has been like my go-to bronzer for the last 6 weeks or so. So when I return, I will probably give my NARS cream bronzer a little bit of love. Oh, this is, I mean, you've seen me recommend this before, but this is shade 3, this shade 10. I do think that it's important to show the products that, you know, are there all along. Like, what are the things that you really are using all the time, especially if you continue to buy makeup. If you are still like introducing makeup products to your collection, it's always important to return to the old faithfuls because you know, it's very easy to just go like, oh, new and shiny and kind of get shiny object syndrome when, you know, you probably already have a lot of great products. So don't forget your old favorites, even when the new shiny things come along. So bronzer wasn't something like, I didn't buy a new cream bronzer this year. I didn't buy a new powder bronzer this year because I don't need any bronzer, really. I've spoken about that before. Bronzer is not necessarily like the most exciting makeup category for me. I like me a good bronzer, but it's not something that I feel like I need to try a new formula all the time. I do have one shade in a face palette that I got last year that could work as a bronzer for me. I'll show you in a little bit, but first I'm going to show you some of the other cheek products that I got because these are, I mean, I'm the last person on the makeup world to try these, but that's okay. We don't have to try everything all the time right away, so it's fine. I'm just going to show you the box, and you can see shades and swatches in swatch shorts here on YouTube. I'm going to show you the box, A, so I can get rid of the box, and B, so I can like tell you the shade names and all of that. Last fall, Rare Beauty released this little set, which is called the Blush and Glow 4-piece mini set. And basically, it's just 2 shades of their dewy liquid blush and 2 shades of their liquid luminizer. So their liquid blushes, liquid highlighters. So the shades that come in this set are, for the blushes, Virtue and Wisdom. And then for the highlighters, Transcend and Magnetize. So I think that all of these shades are in Rare Beauty's permanent line, and they've made their liquid blushes in minis also part of their permanent line. So you can pick those up whenever. I just happened to pick them up in a holiday set. It was right before the fall savings event too. Because I think that, again, I'm very pro mini. I think that minis are a great way to really try a product and, you know, give it a good go. So we're gonna, I'm really happy with these. I've been using them for the last couple of weeks. I'm gonna apply the shade Wisdom. I'm gonna go a little cooler tone today, I think. Yeah. Everything that you hear about these is true. Like, yes, they are rather pigmented, but they give a really natural finish and they don't set down as quickly, meaning you do have time to work with them. Unlike other liquid blushes like the Glossier Cloud Paint, for example, like with the Cloud Paint, you have 0 time to work with it. You have to just like go, which is why, like, for example, the Cloud Paint, I apply in the back of my hand. I never apply it directly onto the cheeks because that's just dangerous, honestly. So as you can see, like right now it looks rather stark on camera, but it needs to be set with powder for me. And, you know, you need to run through like the lines so that that more streaky part of it goes away. I'm just using the same brush that I used to apply powder. I didn't add any product though. So see, now it looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit more natural. I'm just gonna clean things up over here a little bit. There we go. But I mean, the high rave, the great reputation of the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, I think, is completely warranted. For reference, this is how big the mini is. This is a great product. It looks super natural on the skin. Oh, excuse me. And I feel like it plays really well with everything else. It doesn't really lift foundation or anything like that. I will apply a tiny bit of the liquid luminizer. I'm going to use the shade Transcend. These are pretty high shine when they want to be. So these ones, I do feel like you have less time to work with. And yeah, it's just a tiny bit because the blushes are pretty dewy by themselves. So it's not like you need the highlighter, but I like highlighter, it's fun. I have other highlighters as well that I acquired in this year and other cheek products. So I'll show you those in just a minute. Let me just finish the highlighter application over here. But see, like these blend really well with fingers. I think fingers are probably my favorite way to apply liquid highlighter. Super natural. There we go. Okay. But yes, I did get these liquid blushes and liquid highlighters, and I was talking to an Instagram friend. I was talking to Eclectic Jul on Instagram, and she has, I think, the entire line. And she's like, yeah, I bought the minis like 2 years ago. They're still going. You don't need the full size. I've heard that from multiple people at this point. So if you were wondering if the mini size was worth the money, I don't know, maybe, because you do apply very little. You saw how little I applied on my cheeks. So, I mean, again, my big argument with minis is that, you know, I think that you're more likely to finish them up than other products. And I mean, I'd rather finish a mini and have to pay more technically for the product because the minis are more price per ounce, but actually finishing it than risking having a full size that is going to go bad. I mean, I don't know, but that's my logic. Let me just show you some of the other cheek products that I've acquired. So first off, we have to talk about the Dragon Fruit collection by Clionadh. I did get the entire collection. So I'm gonna show you first the cheek products that are there. I got the 2 fruit lighters. This collection did come with 2 fruit lighters. And I got the shades. What are the shade names? I don't remember the shade names. That's too bad. So I actually haven't used these on my skin. I've swatched them, but I haven't applied them. So the shades on these 2 fruit lighters that came with the Dragon Fruit collection, which by the way, it's Clionadh and Emily Violet Marie. The shades are Tropico and Pitaya. So this is Pitaya, which is a multi-chrome highlighter. So that's gonna join my Kaleidos. And this is Tropico. So Tropico is more of like a golden green pink sheen. Let me just show you. Ooh. So this is Tropico. Very hard to capture this on camera, but again, they are multi-chrome highlighters. And whoops. Let me just show you Pitaya. Pitaya is more of that pink, purple, blue that you see green. See, but that's the fun of multi-chromes, right? I love multi-chrome stuff. It's just super duper fun. You should know, however, that the Fruit Lighters product line has been expanded. So these are not the only 2 fruit lighters. I think that the concept of fruit lighters came out with this collection, but now Clionadh has expanded the shades, and there are many other shades in the Fruit Lighters product line. So if you like colorful highlighters, multi-chrome highlighters, I would suggest maybe checking those. They are very smooth on the skin. They're not grainy at all. They're super finely milled. So I'm very excited to have these. And then other things that came in the collection include the fruit lacquers, which are nail polishes, also multi-chrome, I think. One is the shade Dragantini. Pretty vivid pink. I'm very excited to wear that. We also have the shade Pitaya. They may look the same, but the ships are different. And for the record, pitaya is, I don't know in what language, but it's one of the ways that we call dragon fruit in Spanish as well. So I'm very familiar with the word. The collection also comes with this makeup bag. Look, it's a dragon fruit. How awesome is that? Like the attention to detail on this and this dragon fruit sticker that is gonna go probably on my computer or my water bottle. maybe my water bottle. I'll put it in my water bottle. That'll be fun. And of course, with the Dragon Fruit collection comes the eyeshadow palette, which is right here. This is the new packaging. I do know that when they restocked the collection, they changed the packaging to make this palette removable pans. So that's what the palette looks like. It has, I don't know, it has a lot of things. It has multichromes, it has holographic shades, it has metallics, it has a lot. But I haven't tried these on the eyes either. I'm gonna, again, save it for like a applying new products day, and we'll try them together. Eventually, because I haven't gotten to it, I will upload swatch shorts of this palette as well, so that there's the reference of what it looks like in my medium tan skin tone. But I got the entire collection. As of this recording, I'm not sure if it's still in stock at Cleona. If it is, I'll link it below. But this will be, as far as Cleona has said, the last restock of the Dragon Fruit collection. So if it's there, and you've been thinking about it, maybe this is your chance. I thought about it for a couple of years, to be honest, because the collection is not new, but I'm very, very happy that I got it. Oh, the other face palette, well, actually the face palette that I got is the NARS All That Glitters Cheek Palette, which was their holiday release for 2023. I got this like 30% off last chance on the NARS website. Always kills it with the packaging. NARS always kills it with the packaging. And I would say that this is probably the best thing that NARS releases each year, but you don't need to buy it every year. So I've missed on the face palettes from NARS for many, many years at this point, but this is what it looks like. Very different from my Hourglass palette. So again, it's important to me that I'm adding things to my collection that are not overlapping too terribly much. These are all shimmery blushes. This like lilac color is more of a blush topper on me. And this matte over here, well, this is a shimmery blush actually, is also more of a blush topper on me. So for example, this one I've worn topped with my Melt Sandy Cheeks cream blush, and that looks really, really pretty because these all add a little bit of sheen to the skin. This is NARS's Big Gelée formula. So it's very different from like their powder blushes, especially now that those are reformulated. I do have a swatch short of this cheek palette. If you want to check that out, I'll make sure to leave it linked. So again, this is, I think, some of the best that NARS releases each year. And I do think that they're a worthy purchase. I think they're a worthy investment. But same with the Hourglass palettes, like just check what you have first and then decide. So this, you know, I bought it in the late spring, whenever NARS put it on sale, because 30% off is pretty good. And it's more than I would get on a Sephora sale, for example. And I mean, I knew that this was like last winter's release, so it's going to be heavily discounted, etc. So I'm pretty happy to have it. And I think it gives me a really good selection of face palettes that I can use for travel and kind of rotate around. So yeah, keep an eye out for these. If you find it in a discount store, maybe this is the moment to get it. But of course, NARS releases one of these every holiday. So if you missed this one, there will be one this year. I promise you, sometime around probably October. So just keep your eye open if you're interested in that. But I love NARS. They kill it with the cheek products. So I'm very happy to have one of their face palettes in my collection just to try the formulas, because I know that the formulas are a little bit more elevated from what I've seen in previous reviews. Oh, I missed one thing with the Cleona thing, with the Cleona collection. It also comes with makeup brushes. Again, the whole bundle comes with makeup brushes, which again are styled in the way of the Dragon Fruit collection. I'll probably use those with eyeshadow. If I decide to apply eyeshadow, I'm still not sure. But this is also part of the Cleona collection, so it's always nice to have some eye brushes to rotate with. I'll probably do a little bit of a refresh of my face brushes in the fall. It's one thing that I anticipate that I might buy this upcoming year, but I'm not sure that I'll buy much else. Let me just go with eyeshadow palettes. I have 3. January, I bought the 4 Unearthly palettes that had been pulled out for reformulation. This is the fourth one. This is one that you haven't seen that I got delivered to the US because, I mean, the packaging is kind of sexy. So this is a sleepover palette. It's a very pink palette. This is what it looks like. In this case, I also have swatches of this on Swatch Shorts here on YouTube. In this case, I understand why they're pulling it out for reformulation. These are rather hard pressed on the pan, and I think that the shimmers could be more impactful. They're beautiful, but I think the formula could be a little bit easier to work with, more in the lines of Dead of Night is what I hope that this becomes when it's reformulated. But, you know, I got it on sale. I got it for 50% off. It's still a great formula that is... It's manageable. I've used it without eyeshadow primer. I haven't needed that, which I've said, for example, that I've needed with some of the mattes in Not Normal for them to work a little bit better for me. In this case, I haven't really needed to use an eyeshadow primer to make the mattes work, but both mattes and shimmers are rather hard pressed on the pan. So I don't know, it takes a little bit away from the quality of the palette, but I would say, yeah, if you can get it on sale, even if it's the old formula, it's gonna be pretty, especially if you're big into pink eyeshadow like me. But I understand. In this one, I actually understand why it was pulled for reformulation, because I think that the formulas can be maybe a little bit easier to work with. Then we have the Natasha Denona Retro palette, which I had thought about for a really, really long time. I put it on pause when I got the My Dream palette in my 2022 Beautylish Lucky Bag, but this went on sale on Valentine's Day, I think, this year. So I was able to snag it for like 40% off, but look at this beauty. Ooh, sorry for the mirror. Look at that beauty. It is gorgeous. And on the eyes, it translates so well. It really is Natasha at the peak of her powers. I mean, beautiful formula. Mattes are her amazing mattes that do whatever you want with them. Shimmers, I think that this is the palette where like her shimmers and her toppers started to get like that new formula that people are talking about. But I've enjoyed using this palette a lot. I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 15 shades. So I've used a little over half of the palette, and I would say, yes, this is probably up there in the top 5 of Natasha Denona palettes that I've used quality-wise, and of course color story-wise, because I love pinks, purples, and mauves. And I mean, this is fantastic. So I'm very, very happy to have it. And last but not least, this one I had to wait a long time to get because it was a pre-order, but I'm also very happy to have it because it's very different from everything else that I own. It's the Resurrection palette from Wicked Widow Beauty. I was concerned that it was going to be larger than this, but it's not. It's not. About as close to a rainbow palette as I will get, but a lot of fun multi-chromes here. I posted one on Instagram a couple days ago. I did a look just with Mosaic, this shade. Look at that. So pretty. It's so pretty. I'm sorry, I love multichromes. It's fun. It's just fun. I haven't really used other shades here, so there's a lot of playing that I need to do with this palette, but I am very excited to have it. I will say, upon first impression, based on this shade alone on Mosaic, here it is, I was concerned that the shimmers and the multichromes and stuff were gonna be like really chunky, because when you look at them in the pan, they look really chunky. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be really chunky. It's gonna be a lot of fallout. I did get fallout, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like, oh my God, this is irreparable damage. It wasn't like that. So upon initial impression, I'm gonna say that I am happy with the quality in terms of like how they perform in the eyes, but this is the only shade that I've used so far. So I need to form my thoughts on this more. So all that being said, let's apply some makeup in the eyes. And since this is what I've used the least from the palettes that I have, we're gonna use the Resurrection palette. And we're gonna also give a first use to some of these Cliona brushes. Cliona brushes, oh my God. Let's see. This is the DF01. I'm gonna start with this. I think I'm just gonna do kind of like a little wash of color because I've been here for a while and I'm feeling kind of tired already. I'm sorry. Let's see. So then should we just do with fingers instead? Trying to think what I want to do. You know what? I'm just gonna apply this shade, Halo, on the eyes. Ha ha ha. Also a multi-chrome. I guess that since it's a white base, maybe this is what people call a holographic shade, but this is all I'm gonna apply. Oh, it's gorgeous though. In the pan, I'm seeing it white. On camera, I see a green, but I also see a little bit of a pink flip. And some blue. There's some blue in there, or teal, I guess you could say. So, yeah. Just playing around, really. All right, so I'm just gonna tell you very quickly what I decided to do. So I'm basically only using 2 shades of the Resurrection palette. I think we need to clean up a little bit of fallout here. No extra product in the concealer brush, just use what's left in it to kind of clean up those edges there. So I'm using the shade Halo all over the lid, and then I'm using, what's the name of this shade? It's a green matte. Okay, I'm using this shade. It's called Sanctuary all around. So lower lash line, upper lash line, and in the corner and crease just a little bit for the sake of adding a little bit of depth. It was very easy to work with. And this brush from Cleona also did the job really well to get on specific places and even to deepen here on the crease. Works really well, feels really soft. So positives all around with these brushes. I only used that one because I only used 1 shade and I kind of used it for everything, but I'm very happy with the way that the look came out. And I mean, I think it's a pretty easy way to wear green. If you're gonna wear green, it would be like a darker green shade and some multi-chromes. And then I just put on some of this mascara, which is old news to everybody, but some people still love it. The Too Faced Better Than Sex. I think there are better mascaras out there, but that one's not bad. I do think that it gives really good definition and lashes that are thick without being crazy. At least if you apply it more sparingly. So I think the Cleona brushes are gonna be good. I'm excited to try them more and use them in more depth. I'm just gonna put the rest in here in their little tube thingy. And very quickly, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the stuff that I have here. So, a few months ago, I had gotten the Sephora Favorites Deluxe Cologne Sampler Set, which has quite a few different fragrances. It has the Not a Perfume from Julia Has a Gun. I'm almost like halfway through this. It also has Missing Person from Fleur. It has Burberry Goddess. It has Gucci Flora Gorgeous Gardenia. It has Layla Lou by Rosie Jane. It has Good Girl by Carolina Herrera. It has Lychee Rose by Ness New York. And it also has Gucci Bloom. And then it's one of those sets where you can get, you get a coupon to redeem a bigger size. So I went with the Burberry Goddess. So this is a 1 ounce. This is $105. So I was like, okay, I paid like $70 or $80 for the set, and then I'm getting like $105 1 ounce perfume out of it. Feels like a good deal. I will have a separate video with my thoughts on all of the fragrances that I've tried this summer, because I've tried like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've tried 10 new fragrances this summer. So I will give you my thoughts on those 10 fragrances in a separate video. Some of the others that I got this summer are also Love Don't Be Shy by Kilian. I got 2 samples of this. One I got via Influencer, and then the other one I just got with a Sephora order. And then the other 2 perfumes that I've tried lately are Fleur Not Your Baby and Miami Nectar by Ellis Brooklyn. More little samples that I have that I want to try. Orbe Gold Lust mask. I'll save this for a deep treatment day, probably before I go. and take a 14-hour flight where my head is going to be resting against the thing. I want to maybe give my hair some deep hydration. I also got a sample of the Moroccan oil body lotion. I had no idea they did body care, so that'll be fun to try. And then if you remember a few months ago, I got a Sephora favorite set with mascaras with like 5. That's where that Too Faced came from. So I redeemed my voucher for that, and I got the full size of the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes mascara. So with that and the full size Tower 28 that I got in another Sephora favorite set, plus 2 of those other minis from that set that I still have in the Middle East, I don't need mascara for the year. I don't see myself buying more mascara this year. Same thing with cheek products, same thing with eyeshadow palettes. We'll see. Last but not least, I just wanted to show you what I decided to pick up with my birthday gift card. So I decided to go with hairstyling. I got 2 hairstyling products because I feel like curl creams and gels and stuff like that are the harder part to find for me in the Middle East. So I got the Pattern Palo Santo styling cream, and I got the Bumble and Bumble BB Curl gel pomade. Haven't tried this, did try this. Very interesting texture, but I have to form my thoughts in more varied circumstances. I want to try it more because I've only used it once. I also decided to try the LYS Skin Loyalty Blur Mattify Set Makeup Setting Spray. I'm learning how to work with mattifying setting sprays. I do have a smaller Urban Decay All Nighter All Matte. Is that what it's called? Ultra Matte. I know that there are other versions. Not all of them are mattifying. My first use of that was a total fail, but I think I got the hang of it, and it is a really good setting spray. It doesn't entirely kill the glow for me, but maybe that's because I go extra glowy on everything. Maybe that's why. So I'm gonna be trying this one from LYS just to see what it's like. I'm on a quest to like get a couple of like favorite setting sprays because it's a rather new product for me. So that's still like a work in progress. And then I also got myself a full size of Pillow Talk Medium, the Matte Revolution lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury with its matching lip liner. I had to pay a little bit extra, but that's okay with me. I wanted to get the full size of that because I do think that the shade is really appropriate for me. This is how much I have of the mini. And just for reference, that's what the shade looks like on me, okay? It's the lipstick that you put on when you don't know what lipstick to put on. So I wanted to have the full size because I know that this will only last me a couple of months, and it is a great shade to have in my opinion. And then with that order, I got like a free sample of Good Fortune by Victor and Rolf. I haven't heard anybody talking about this perfume, but I'll try it later on. I do like Flower Bomb a lot. My husband has been trying Spice Bomb as well with his own cologne sampler set. And we've enjoyed that quite a bit. So, I mean, I have a very positive opinion of Victor and Rolf fragrances as it is. Whew. Are you tired? I'm tired. I'm tired. There was a lot here. My goodness. Again, this is all like spread over the course of a year or so. I didn't buy all of this at the same time, and neither should you probably. Nobody needs this much makeup. I'm very thankful that I can indulge in this as a hobby, as a creative outlet, but nobody needs this much makeup. I am very cognizant of that. So I'm basically just enjoying the hobby while I can, while I can invest into it. But I will be going into I'm going to call it a very low buy for the sake of making sure that when it's time for me to leave my current location, I'm able to pack all my makeup. So we'll be talking about that in the next few months. But now, the moment you've been waiting for, the giveaway. Let's talk about it. So first of all, this is just in celebration of me reaching 100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm very happy about it. It's fun. And then last year, I kind of randomly started like fulfilling one makeup wish for a person. I had someone like talk about how she had the Rose Quartz palette from Huda Beauty in her wish list for a really long time. And so I sent her a message like, you want me to buy it for you? I'll buy it for you. That was on my birthday last year. I was like, sure, why not? I want to do something nice for someone else. is there an address where I can send it to you? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, yeah. And, you know, I just did. So I don't know, in the spirit of sharing, because sharing is caring, celebrating 100 subscribers on YouTube, and also understanding that I imagine that many people have had to cut back on their beauty purchases because things are tough right now. I just wanted to give back a little bit. So if you want to participate on the giveaway, there are a couple of things that you need to do. Number one, you need to be subscribed to the YouTube channel. You also need to be following me on Instagram. My handle is the same on both, Joe Sparkly. The Instagram part is because that's where I'm going to be communicating with the winner of the giveaway. So you will be direct message by me. I don't have Telegram. I don't ask anybody for money. I don't need your money. It's cool. But I do need to be able to see that you are subscribed to YouTube and that you are following me on Instagram to be entered. And then here on this video, comment and let me know what is your current top makeup wish list item. So what's the one thing that you would like to get? What's the one thing that you would like to buy? I'm going to set the limit at basically the price of a Mothership, $129, I think is what it is. So anything on your wish list up to that point, in case anyone wants a Mothership, I'm happy to oblige. And it can be one item or a combination of items, that's okay. But I would make it either your top item or your top 3 item. Eyeshadow palette, cheek products. There's been a lot of exciting new cheek product releases, so it could be something like that. But it does have to be from a beauty retailer that can ship to your location. If you have a preferred one that you know like has good shipping and your package will arrive, let me know, especially because this is going to be open internationally. But I have to be able to order it online so that I can just ship it directly to you. So in your comment, let me know your wish list item. And if you have a preferred retailer that you want me to purchase it from, or a retailer where you know that the product is going to be in stock, then also let me know that. So for example, if I said, let's say Natasha Denona Yucca palette, right? You could say in your comment, okay, my top wish list item is the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, and you can buy it from, let's say, Sephora Canada, if you're in Canada, or you can buy it from the Natasha Denona website, which ships to my country, okay? Or let's say, oh, I want to try the Botanicals palette from Beauty Bay, okay? And, you know, Beauty Bay ships to my country, so it's cool. Let me know, ideally, if it's not on that retailer that you recommend and I need to find a different one for international shipping, then I'll check that with you. But that's pretty much it. Those are the rules. This video will probably go up a little bit later today, Monday the 22nd, and I'm gonna close the giveaway on Wednesday, February. I don't know why I was gonna say February. I'm gonna close the giveaway on Wednesday, July 24th, so that I can make sure that I can order items before I go back to the Middle East. I just want to make sure that I do it before I go. So Wednesday, July 24th at 9 p.m. Pacific, I'm going to close the giveaway. I'll do the giveaway on Instagram. I'll put it on stories and stuff so that you guys can see. And hopefully you can get your prize as soon as possible. So that's going to be it for this video, which ran super long. I look forward to your giveaway entries and sharing the joy of makeup with you on this 100 subscriber / birthday giveaway. I hope you enjoyed my myriad of things on this makeup show and tell. And this is what the completed look is. That's what it looks like. Not unlike my usual makeup looks, this is kind of what I've been going for lately. 1 or 2 eyeshadows, pinky nude lips, very natural cheeks with cream products, glowy complexion, set with powder, easy peasy. That's been pretty much my go-to look the entire summer. And I mean, it's kind of how I do my makeup most of the time. So again, I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We have fun here. We have fun with makeup. We have fun with beauty. Sometimes I talk about cars that go fast. And yes, I know that I haven't done a race roundup in a really long time. We will talk about things because things are getting interesting. There's drama. We should talk about the drama. If you want to enter the giveaway, you can do so. I will see you in my next video, which is probably going to be my review on those 10 fragrances that I've tried this summer. I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.